Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. How did I get into real estate? That is a great question. Hey, if you're new to my channel, welcome to Real Estate Happens, the very first and longest running real estate show on the web. I'm John McQuilkin. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, I'm a real estate agent in Beverly Hills, California, but I grew up in Florida. And I wanted to become a real estate agent since I was a little boy, 8 years old. I can remember my parents used to visit new housing communities and we'd go through the model houses. And I was just in awe of the model houses because, you know, they stage those houses and those staged houses look so much different than the house that I was living in. We were 5 kids and a mom and a dad, and we were living in a very small 3-bedroom, 1.5-bath house. So when we went to see these brand new houses, I was just thrilled. And I would see the agents showing the houses, and I thought that's what I want to do when I get older. So I started religiously going through the Sunday Times and going through all the real estate ads in the open houses in the Sunday Times, starting at like 8 or 9 years old. And I would highlight the houses, and then I would try to talk my mom or my dad into taking me to see the open houses. This is a 9-year-old kid that wanted to see open houses, and my parents couldn't afford these houses, and they never would. My dad was always busy working on the cars in the front yard with the cars up on jacks. That was his thing, is working on cars all day. And my poor mother, who worked as a nurse, was busy doing laundry and cleaning the house because she had 5 boys to raise. So it never worked out. A couple of times I would go to open houses by myself, and the agents were very courteous to see this little 10-year-old boy ride his bike up to an open house and go into the open house, but I just had to see open houses. Okay, now flash forward to when I'm 18 years old. I graduate from high school, and all my friends were going off to college, and I told my friends and family, I'm going to become a real estate agent. My brother sat me down and he said, John, you're 18 years old. You look like you're about 15 years old, because I've always looked very, very young. He goes, you look like you're 15. Nobody's going to buy a house from you. First, go to college first. So that's what I did. I went to college. I studied for a few years in college, but then I got the acting bug because I'd been doing acting since I was 15 years old, doing community theater and stuff. So then I moved to California to become an actor. Out here in California, well, first when I first arrived in California, I ended up living in my car for 1 month on Venice Beach. That's a separate story in itself. But it was a great experience being homeless on Venice Beach, let me tell you that. But, so I worked as an actor. I pursued acting for a long time. I did background work. I had bit parts in TV shows. I did stand-up comedy. That was a lot of fun. And I pursued acting, so during that time, I was still like in love with houses and looking at open houses, but now I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be filthy rich as an actor, so now I can just buy all these properties that I want. So I used to go every Sunday to Malibu and walk up and down the Malibu Colony Beach, which is a private beach, and I'd look at these huge multi-million-dollar mansions on the beach and try to figure out which house I was going to buy once I became a successful actor. Well, the acting thing never really took off. I'm still an actor today. I'm still in the Screen Actors Guild and in the American Federation of TV and Radio Artists, and I love acting, but I make my living, and a very good living at that, in real estate. So how did I get into real estate? Okay, so now I'm working in the entertainment industry. I was working for a post-production house where we did editing for the films that you see. The producers would come to me and I did the scheduling. So producers would come to me, say, hey, I just made this movie. We need to schedule editing time with your editors to edit the movie. So that's what I did. And I made a very nice living doing that, working in the entertainment industry. So much so that I was able to buy my first house. So I saw a house I liked. I didn't hire a real estate agent or anything because that's something I enjoyed doing. So I found a house online that I liked, and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't know any real estate agents. So I called my friend, Rebecca Flyshaker, who went to Largo High School with me in Florida and now lives in Los Angeles as well. And I was like, Rebecca, I want to buy a house. Do you know any real estate agents? And she's like, yes, Steve Schrager. Steve Schrager is a very good real estate agent in Studio City, California. She said, let me call him. She called him. He met me that afternoon at the house I wanted to buy. he didn't have to do any work, to talk me into buying it because I already knew I was going to buy it. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, but it had a huge Olympic-sized swimming pool in the backyard, and it was completely walled and private. It was a beautiful house, which I completely remodeled. I made it look like a Beverly Hills house. It was in the San Fernando Valley, but I made it look like it was in Beverly Hills once I did all the landscaping. So it was a beautiful house. Well, Steve Schrager represented me, and he did such a great job representing me as a real estate agent that I just suddenly fell in love with real estate. I was like, I don't care about the entertainment industry. Like I said, I was making a lot of money in that business, but I said, I gotta become a real estate agent. I love what this guy is doing, and I wanna be able, he was able to put a smile on my face when he sold me my house, and I wanted to be able to do that for people. I get choked up when I talk about this because buying my first house was a dream for me, and he understood that. So when we went to the closing, when he handed me my keys, he showed up with a pizza and soft drinks, and he had invited some of my friends, and we celebrated my first house. And I wanted to be able to give that experience to other people. So the reason I'm telling you this is that's why I gave up the money in the entertainment industry to become a real estate agent, because some people get into real estate for the money. I know people that get into real estate agents, successful real estate agents, that tell me personally, I can't stand it. I'm just doing it for the money. As soon as I make enough money, I'm getting out of the business. And that's fine. They're making a lot of money and they represent their clients nicely. That's fine. But I get emotional with all my clients because when I hand them the keys of their house, it's so exciting. And yes, I sell high-end luxury houses now, so it's a little bit different because most of my clients who buy million-dollar mansions, even if it's their first house, it's different for them. But I still sell inexpensive houses. In California, there's not that many inexpensive houses, but I still sell inexpensive houses to first-time, hard-working home buyers, and that's when I get choked up. And I try to create the same experience that Steve Schrager created for me. When I hand them their keys, I'll do a Mexican fiesta party or a pizza party, and that gives me so much pleasure. Seeing the smiles on their faces. They always invite their whole families over. They always refer other business to me, which is wonderful. That is why I got into real estate. That is why I got into real estate. To make a difference to make a difference in people's lives with home ownership. And you don't know how many times I've tried to talk my family and friends into purchasing houses that I knew were good investments for them, especially when the market was low, because I know how it can change their lives. And they just didn't. They're like, no, we can't afford it. And then they turn around and buy a brand new SUV for $60,000, but they didn't purchase the house. And then 4 years from now, they have a used SUV. But 4 years from now, they could have had a house that tripled in value, and they could have bought 10 SUVs with that money. Whew. Anyways, so that's why I love real estate, is because I can create those situations for people if they will listen to me and purchase a house. And I always steer them right. If it's the wrong house for them, I tell them. I've walked away from many commissions because I didn't think it was the right house for people to buy, because I have to put my head on my pillow every night and get a good night's sleep, and I couldn't do that if I steered clients in the wrong way. So as a real estate agent, if you're probably watching this video because you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, so maybe my story will inspire you why I got into real estate. And again, we all get into it for different reasons, and you might be getting into it strictly for the financial reasons, and that's fine because there's a lot of money to be made in real estate. But hopefully you also have the emotional connection that I have to get into real estate, to really make an impact in your clients' lives. And if you do, this business is going to mean so much more to you. And if you do, if you have the connection that I have and your clients see that, you'll be successful. That's one thing I can guarantee. You can't fake that. Your clients will know if you really care about them. And if you do, and I'm sure you do, then you're going to be successful in real estate. Anyways, I'm sorry I got choked up in this video, but this particular one means a lot to me, and I hope it meant a lot to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment below, and if you have any questions about real estate or getting your real estate license, leave a question below and I will certainly answer those questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to have another show for you real soon, I promise you that. So until then, take care everybody. I'm John McQuilkin, and I'll see you in real estate.